As if the strong pressure that was about to drag me into the abyss made me tremble uncontrollably. Even though I hadn't done anything wrong, I still said words that sounded like an apology, and then, the goddess Sama and Lily's eyebrows shook. The earth rose. Believe it or not. My ears. I dress so beautifully. I just want to seduce you, this consultant. There's no temptation, God's Hestia. Wearing a guild uniform will affect your image, so this outfit is the last resort. No, that's right, it's simply tempting. Looking at her moist eyes and feminine expression, she even thought of taking the innocent and ignorant Lord Bell home if she had the chance. Lily knew this very well. But it's too late. Even Miss Ina, whose face was red, was affected. I can't understand anything anymore. Could someone explain this situation? Mr. Bell, actually, it was the cold Miss Horn who sent Miss Sear's secret message to the guild hall. Then, following the goddess and the others, they entered the shop among the Hestia Familia, and Miss Mikoto was embarrassed. The ground spoke. The letter says that a witch appears alongside the white rabbit who is being followed by Mr. Hogney, and needs to be dealt with quickly. There is also a map in it. What? Why? It was possible to let Belladonna go, so I left it to my subordinates, or rather, Hestia Sama and the others. Being followed by Mr. How did you do that? I didn't sense any suspicious visions. Does this person know very well how to not find the pet rabbit? Are you scared? It should be impossible to invade the school district, so. Could it be that I was being watched while I was in the city? Miss Sear, what are you doing? The tavern girl seemed to be trapped inside the rich hostess, unable to move. The attendant goddess went crazy while complying with the owner's request, trying to pull out the knife. We finally knocked her unconscious. Welf, who was following Miss Mikoto with some injuries on his body, said tiredly, "What he said, this is the most speechless moment I have ever experienced." At the same time, the body temperature of the entire body is also dropping quickly. Although I didn't see the scene from that time still appeared clearly in my mind. Miss Horn, are you still thinking about killing me? My face quickly changed between 7 colors as if I was sick. Miss Ina was still shouting loudly at the goddess and the others, looking back and forth on both sides, and Miss Haruheim was in a panic, and now she seemed to be the only one. By the way, Ms. Ryu, who kept looking at me with a blank face the whole time, was the scariest. After you left the base, you switched girls one after another and stayed at their house all day, Bell Cranel. I don't think so. Say that. Oh, Lady Hestia. Lady Hermes probably instilled something in Bell Sama. Believe me, Lily. Compared to that, Bell, I haven't received a response to my confession. Why do you choose to say this at this time, Miss Ryu? Bell Cranel, is that true? She confessed her love. Ah, speaking of which, it seems we had that kind of communication during the war game. Ah, I remember, it was through the Mirror of God. It was broadcasted to the entire Orario, right, Miss Ryu? Why did you suddenly kneel on the ground? Her face is like a ripe strawberry. The entire city, everyone under my eyes, the vows of love, are all heard. Eternal shame, help me, Elise. Don't add fuel to the fire. Are you going to blow yourself up again, you big idiot? What's going on, Bell Cranel? Please tell me the truth. Lily won't let you go back until you completely understand, Bell Sama. Please return to the base now and immediately. After she approached, she seemed to remember something. Ina-san stopped moving, Mikoto-san was shocked by the elf who suddenly fell to the ground, and Haruheim-san panicked at the elf's red face that seemed to be burning. Miss Ryu, who covered her face with her hands and seemed to be saying something like, "A fragile person is called justice," followed Welf's roar, followed by the roars of Goddess Sama and Lily. Finally, I heard Mr. Hogney apologize to me. Was it an auditory hallucination? I was powerless to do anything about the chaos before me, and the urge to roll my eyes and faint took over me. Anyway, we caused trouble for the restaurant, so let's apologize to them sincerely and then we won't go near this place again. By the time I returned to the school district, looking unhappy, it was already late at night when the date was about to change. Normally, at this time, the control-level corridor that was built like a suspension bridge in the port should be closed, but it was still open now. In front was Nina, who looked worried. She ran, and as I returned to Mrs. Renault's shop, I put on my wig and combat uniform again, hiding my fatigue and trying my best to smile. "Where have you been? Seeing that you haven't come back, I'm really worried." "I'm sorry. A lot of things happened in Orario." "Because of me? Because I made you worry?" No. It's really not. It's not Nina's fault." Nina just got angry and immediately showed a sad expression. Seeing this, I quickly denied it. Going to see Ina-san was my own initiative. Instead, it was as if I was secretly investigating. What happened after that seemed a little out of control, but it was all my fault. In short, I wanted to tell her that there was absolutely no need for her to blame herself, but Nina seemed to be sensitive to something. A big liar. She only heard her whisper. The expression on her face seemed strange or guilty, but she also felt a little happy. "I also caused trouble for Lappy-kun and everyone else, so we can clear everything up." "Really?" "I don't think so, but, if that's the case, that would be great, right?" I scratched my head with one hand and couldn't help but tell the truth. Nina actually laughed out loud this time. Seeing that smile, I finally felt relieved. "Should we go back to the dorm?" "Although there is no special internship tomorrow, there is still training." "Regarding that matter, can I go to the faction experience tomorrow, Nina?" "A number of things happened tonight. After the incident, Lady Hestia strictly ordered me to return to the family. In the school district, Orario's own faction experience is a self-service application form. As long as you carefully explain to the teachers and obtain permission, you can do it at any time. I heard that many students outside of the combat techniques department have already undergone the faction experience before the family recruitment. Although I was very sad about not being able to train with the third team, there should be nothing unusual about it." However, when she heard my application, Nina was obviously shaken. "Lappy-kun, have you decided on a way out?" "Well, I want to be an adventurer, so I have a general direction." Nina lowered her eyes and said sadly, "Really? Nina? I'm sorry. I'll ask them to turn on the stalled elevator. Then we'll go look for it together." Nina suddenly came to her senses, hurriedly forced a smile, and then boarded the walkway with a rumble. The sound of waves was faintly audible. It was the sound of the vast ocean crashing into the great soda lake. She disappeared deep into the control layer, and I could only watch her silently. What a youth! Eden-sama. Whether sweet or bitter, they are the dots that decorate your life. Come with me. The elastic-faced blonde goddess quickly appeared at the back of the runway, and I imitated her, stretching a hand toward the night sky. She must be looking for Nina and Director Balder. Negotiate and then lower the ramp. I thanked the goddess for her mercy. After that, I had to write several self-reflection essays.